Welcome back, guys, to game number 3 between our two Protoss players. It's all tied up 1-1, and yet again we hear the howls, the noise, the freezing atmosphere of Triton. First things first, let's introduce our players here on the bottom right. On this Protoss, it's gonna be Tall, aka Singapore's Lobo, and on the flip side here on the top left, we have our Red Protoss yet again taking that game number 2 with a big army. It's gonna be Malaysia's Ranger, and Ranger defending really well, understanding pretty much what Lobo was up to on that second game, all tied up in this scenario. And first things first, we all know that these games are post-dated basically. These games were not casted, these games were not streamed, and overall, this is just a way to get these games the attention they deserve, because this really formed the story of the SEA Games. But first things first, big shoutouts here to Lobo, the only player who got a map off against Miomaika in this group stage. And honestly, with that map win and pretty much the records overall, I don't know if it helped him or not, but since the SEA Games had this map win score over matches, he was actually the one in second place, getting that upper bracket bye, and ended up facing off against Bliss. So, Singapore versus Singapore on that losers round 2. When I first saw it, I was really confused too, but then I saw what Lobo was able to do, get 11 map wins over Rangers total 10, I believe. Yeah, it was that close. It was that close. Unfortunately, they weren't able to see each other in the lower bracket itself. But this match has already shown that there is a lot of skill between these two players, and this is such a good matchup to check out. Malaysia versus Singapore. You know what, peninsula, two countries looking to face off, and again, Ranger, you cheeky fellow. This is just like the story of the match right now. This time, Ranger puts the pylon in the way of Lobo's base just to say, hey, remember when I did this twice? Remember when I did that? Will he cancel this though? Oh, he's gonna stay with it, so he will invest 100 mils to do so. And Lobo did the same thing! Lobo did the exact same thing. So both sides gonna have these probes stuck on the other end, and it's time to clean up that pylon. Luckily for Ranger, he does have one probe on the outside, so can't go for that second Nexus. Does Lobo have the same situation? No, he just blows it up with the Stalkers instead. So both sides, just memeing with each other, and it's really fun to see these small micro interactions with the players. They've been having such a good series. All that cheese there from Lobo. Defended once, succeeded once. But it's just for them to both have fun as well as compete at the highest level in the region. Anyway, the Adepts going for that Shade on in yet again. Psionic Transfer, not gonna have it. Pylon gonna be in the way. And on PvP, you do want to go for the safer 2 gateway option before that Cybernetic Scar. You don't need to go for that second base as well. And what I've noticed about PvP is it isn't as clean per se as PvT, especially PvZ. In PvP, it's a lot more likely to run cheese against your opponents because Cannon's effective, able to play with the power fields, and the Adept's gonna go for the Psionic Transfer, but mistakes made for Ranger. Gonna go for the strategic recall. That's a long cooldown to wait on. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, there's that whole what in PvP. It's just there's so many antics you can do in the first place. As we follow this Oracle trying to get to the other side. Speaking of the fight though, here we go with the proxy pylon. I can't finish my point because the antics are already starting as the Stalkers are trying to be on the other side. The probe will be able to spot this, and boom goes the dynamite. Probe goes down. Oracle though trying to get into that main mineral line. No backwards photon cannon. It is going to be a shield battery though. And stasis ward. So the stasis ward, if it pops, it's going to slow down production. Never mind. Well done there by Lobo. Microwing only one to be sacrificed as 2 probes go down. And Ranger's random ass proxy pylons gonna be going down as well. So yeah, basically Ranger sets these pylons up so you can go for warp cycles in behind, go for pincer attacks as we do see the engagement. I'll go back to my point later on, because these guys never really let up with their antics in the first place. Psionic Transfer now, looking to go for a bait end switch. In the meantime, Ranger just trying to get some more warp cycles on. Warperson though under the rest, forcing the retreat already. And good attack there from Ranger, gonna be spotting out that moment of weakness against Lobo. And of course, Immortals are gonna be into the field yet again. So, let me finish my point. Game, chill, let me finish my points. So in PvP, as that Oracle goes down, it's just so easy to cheese your opponent. Proxy Gateway works, Proxy Forge with Photon Cannon, Forge in the base doesn't really matter. DT's out of nowhere because of how the tool tech and pretty much how base construction works for Protoss. You want to be keeping these funnels on, and in the mirror matchup, you can use the Zealot funnel for your own benefits. Since these buildings can't lift off or anything or produce creep, it's easier to cannon rush as one gateway goes down. Oh, force fields though! And well done there by Lobo, gonna be able to get the load on in. But here comes the Immortal and Ranger yet again, showing his Warp Prism expertise, forcing the retreat already. Good defense there, one gateway does go down. Oh, the Stalkers might be sacrificing their life to allow the others to back on out. And Lobo losing one already, but here comes the army yet again. In terms of numbers though, pretty even on both sides. Both sides on one base. This time, it's going to be time to take care of this Proxy Pylon. And the Warp Prism full of load yet again. Immortals and 2 Stalkers are going to be into the field one more time. So 2 Gateways is a safe option. You're able to keep a good cycle of units. You can go 3 and 4. It's pretty much the basic rule of Protoss. You want to have 4 production per Nexus that's fully saturated. As here we go with the Micro to try and go to the right-hand side, but the Immortals in position. The Stalker comes out to a very hot reception. And finally, Ranger going to be expanding by the 6-minute mark. Both sides, of course, on a later expansion, and Lobo getting even later onto this one. But in many scenarios, when you're on that PvP, you can go for that 1 base all-in, 2 base all-in scenario. Just keep army production. You can stop workering by, what? If you're going to stay on 2 base, you can stop workering on by like 48, 50. You want to be at what, 60, 70? In terms of how many bases you can get against other races. But it really is aggression. It's all about how you micro your abilities as well. Blink Stalker, force fields, makes such a big difference because a Protoss itself prides in quality, not quantity. Terran can be flexible, there's quantity, there's quality. In Protoss, even the Zealot is, it's a bigger investment than many things. Zerg, in the meantime, it's all about numbers and keeping the tide ongoing. But speaking of the tide, here comes the flush already. And let's look at that unit tab real quick. We do see 1 Colossus on the side of So Lobo gonna be going for that more sustainable, more safe option of extra DPS in behind. But might not be the best unit in terms of the opposing composition, as it is gonna be the Immortal in behind as well, getting some damage done, but it will be able to cook up these Adepts and maybe do some damage as well onto the Sentries. Phoenix though in the air already, and Lobo not really producing anything right now because he is in a state where he doesn't have as much cash flow as he would like. Also gonna be supply blocked just a little bit, so his next warp cycle might be slightly delayed. Anyway, it's time for the Singaporean to go for the attack. The blue Protoss knocking on the doorstep of Ranger. Still though, Immortal out in front, tapping the barrier already. Warp Prism gonna get that load on in yet again. Guardian Shield right now, and high ground, big advantage here and now for Ranger. Lobo though, not really doing much in this scenario. Gonna be funneling in a few more Adepts along the way. The Colossi gonna be saved just a little bit, going in behind yet again, trying to go for as much micro as possible. But the DPS from the Colossus is not gonna be enough. Graviton beams absolutely on point from Ranger as well. And this looks really clean here for Ranger. It's a standstill fight for boats, and Lobo gonna be going down. GG is called. And honestly, an underwhelming end to the series. I feel like both sides could have done more, and Lobo deciding to just squat his army and go for the fight. It's something. But Ranger will pick up that win. We'll pick up that W. Maybe that 2 base already scaring Lobo in a sense, but it was pretty even. Look at the worker count right now. And sure, Lobo was supply blocked but just a little bit, but could have waited on in terms of the attack itself, get some more units. What do you guys think? What do you think that was all about? Because I'm a little befuddled, I'm a little confused. Still though, great first 2 games. And I love the antics here on the 3rd. Finally, we are able to talk about a few things about them, about the matchup. And that's the SEA Games, guys. That's the SEA Games. Maybe placements was a matter as well, but who knows by this point. It's been fun, it was great. I've been Dax, and I think that's gonna be our last group stage replay of this batch, especially from Ranger. The next one's gonna be a little different. We're gonna be going into lower bracket finals, those matches instead, prior to the finals rather, since we were able to stream that one between Mio and Bliss. But some of that journey gonna be cataloged here and now on this channel, so I can't wait to share that with y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one.